Alright, so this time we're going to add structural walls and footings to our fire station building. Again, if you want to use the exact exercise file that I'm using right now, what you can do is you can go to my website, Learning with Rich, this one, and the exact file that I'm using right now is this one. So add structural walls and footings. So just click this one and then you will be redirected to PayPal. So if you want to support me, it will only cost you $2. So if you don't want, that's fine. You can still follow the exercise using your own project. Okay, so let me just go back. All right. Okay, so here, let's add structural foundation wall. Okay, so here in this area. Okay, so let's go to our architecture wall. So we will be selecting here a wall structural. Okay, so we're going to select that, and then we are going to use foundation wall 300 mm. So let's check the properties here. So we will be using this basic wall foundation 300 mm. And then since this is a foundation wall, so you will not be able to change the depth settings here. So that's how the foundation wall works. So basically it will start from your current level, go down, and then it will go down from main floor to lower portion of the main floor. Okay, so for the height of our wall, okay, so let's change this to like 1950. Okay, and then for the location line, so let's use here core face interior settings. And then for the option here on our draw, since this is rectangular shape, so I'll just select here rectangle. And then there you go. So we are now ready to create our foundation wall. So I will be starting at the upper left corner of the floor slab. Click that one. And then we can click the second point here of our floor slab. So click that. There you go. So there's our wall foundation. Okay. And then after that, I'm going to select here, modify. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select one of the structural wall that we just placed here. So let's go to the 3D view and then let's have a look. This one, right? So this is our foundation wall. So I'm going to select this. Okay, and then here on our properties, notice that on our structural panel, so this one is, the structural usage for this one is bearing, okay, which is correct. Okay, so that's for our wall foundation. Now the next thing that we will be doing, going back to our main floor, we're going to place continuous wall footings and then isolated footings. Okay, so let's create first our continuous wall footing. Let me just zoom out. Okay, so let's go to our structure tab. And then after that, here on our foundation, so we will be selecting here the wall foundation. So it creates foundations hosted by walls. Okay, so I'm going to select this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my cursor over one of the structural wall, which is this one. I'm not going to click yet. Just move your pointer over that structural wall and then just press tab. So once you press tab, it will highlight all the 4 walls, right? Okay, let me do it again. So I'm going to move my pointer over the foundation wall or structural wall, and then I'm going to press tab once. And then it will now highlight the 4 walls. So once it highlights, you click that to place our continuous wall footings under the walls. Okay, so I'll just select here, modify, and then let's have a look at the 3D view. And there you go. Okay, so let's change the detail level to fine. Visual style to shaded view. Okay, so that's the one that we just created. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to our main floor. So this time we are going to use isolated foundation. So let's click this one. Okay, and then let's just wait. And then you see there's an option here, right? So there's mode and then multiple on our contextual tab, wherein you can place your isolated foundation at grids, or you can also put that at the column. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place that at the column because here we already have column. So I'm going to select here at columns. Okay, and then what will happen, we need to select all the columns here, and then our isolated footing will be placed under that column. Okay, so let's use window selection, and then as you can see, it's highlighting the columns. So once I select it, it now shows here our preview of our isolated footing, right? So after that, just select here finish and you're done. So there's a warning here, an attached structural foundation will be moved to the bottom of the column, which is what we want. So just close that warning. And after that, just select here modify, and then let's have a look at the 3D view. And there you go. So right, so there's our isolated footing. Okay, so the next thing that we will be doing, let us just tidy up our model here. Okay, so let's tidy up. So as you can see, this one here, for example, what I want to do here is I want to just join. Okay, I just want to join this foundation wall to this isolated footing here. Okay, so let us just join that one. So let's go to modify and then geometry, and then there's the join tool. Okay, so I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to select first the wall foundation, the continuous footing. Click that, and then just select the isolated footing that you want to join, which is this one here. And there you go. So it's now cleanly joined. Okay, so let's do it again. So let's select this continuous wall footing and then select the isolated footing, and there you go. So it's now clearly and nicely joined. Okay, so let's click this and then click that isolated footing, and there you go. So it's now joined. And then last side, click, click. There you have it. Okay. Right, so that's it for that simple exercise. So hopefully you learned something from this video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.